Leading off, Johannes Hawkinson.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to today's afternoon game between the Concordia, Wisconsin Falcons and the CUC Cougars. Cade Laudenschlager, the senior from Cave Creek, Arizona, ready to get to work here, and he fires strike one to begin the afternoon. It's Johannes Hackinson leading things off for CUW. So Laudenschlager gets a ground ball to third base. Caleb Anderson up with it across the diamond to Bryce Vincent for out number one.
Now batting, number 17, Sam Beers.
That brings up Sam Beers, the biggest threat in this CUW lineup. Sam comes into today leading the team in just about everything. He has 5 home runs so far on the year, and is batting well over 400. Laudenschlager misses with the ball outside 1-0. Laudenschlager comes set. He fires. Fouled off by Beers. 1-1 the count. Laudenschlager coming into today. This is his third start on the year. They have all been midweek non-conference games. It's his 11th appearance overall, though. That's the most on the team. And he's thrown the second most innings on the team behind Cole Carman. He gets a ground ball here to Ubo up at short. And he fires to Vincent at first, who keeps his foot on the bag for out number 2.
Now batting, number 8, Sean Tillman.
Brings Sean Tillman to the plate. Tillman on the year comes in with a .323 average. He does have a home run, a couple of triples, 7 doubles, and 19 runs driven in for the Falcons' 3-hole hitter today. Laudenschlager fires first pitch, taken on the outside corner for a strike. Shakes off his catcher and fires. He gets a swinging strike there, and all of a sudden, Laudenschlager a strike away from a very clean first inning. He deals. Swung on and missed, strike 3, a 1-2-3 inning for Laudenschlager. We go to the bottom of the first. 1-0 Cougars, or 0-0 rather. I'm like, Welcome back here, folks. Bottom of the first inning. Cade Laudenschlager worked a 1-2-3 inning in the first, inducing 2 ground balls and striking out the final batter. And it's Howie Hatton stepping in to lead things off for your Cougars. Howie putting together a very nice year right now. No hits in the final game of Sunday's doubleheader with Dominican. Prior to that, though, he had hit safely in 11 consecutive games, many of those multiple hit games, including a 3-hit performance in Game 1 on Sunday. Hatton takes a first pitch on the outside corner for strike 1, and that's the second time now we've seen the pitcher. First it was Laudenschlager. Now Lutz get that outside corner strike to a righty. We'll see if he goes back there. Lutz a left-hander. Hatton fouls one off. Zavali waits on deck. He'll bat right-handed against the lefty Lutz. As Hatton faces an 0-2 count. Hatton fouls that off and stays alive. I mentioned an 11-game hitting streak snapped for Hatton in Game 2 of Sunday's doubleheader. He'll look to start a new one here. The 0-2 pitch. Taken outside for a ball. Nice athletic play from the catcher there to keep that from going to the backstop, though it would not have mattered much with nobody on base. Long pause. The 1-2. Inside, taken for a ball. It doesn't look like Lutz is going to be the quickest worker on the mound today. He took a very long pause there before delivering the 1-1 pitch. And he fires a 2-2. Hatton grounds one to first. It'll go 3 unassisted. The first baseman takes it himself. And there was one away in the first.
Now batting for your Concordia Cougars, number 1, Michael Zavoli.
This is Zach Lutz's first start of the year. He's thrown just 6 innings total in 6 appearances, which leads me to believe he's never thrown more than an inning. You wonder if Concordia, Wisconsin has this planned as a bullpen day, or if they are expecting Lutz to go well beyond anything he's done so far this season, as Zavoli tips that one off for strike 1. Lutz has been effective in the work that he has done this season. In 6 innings pitched, he struck out 8, but he has also walked 8. So expect some patient approaches from the Cougars at the plate today, though they are a typically aggressive team. Zavali takes strike 2, I believe, on the call, as it looked like he held back on the swing. And he is now in the hole 0-2. Gary Maynard on deck. Gary out in left field today, with Caleb Anderson playing third after a couple games at DH. And Zavali swings and misses for strike 3.
Now batting, number 17, Gary Maynard.
And that brings up Gary Maynard, who comes into today with the highest average on this Concordia team among qualified hitters. He is hitting at .388, which is just 1 point ahead of Hatton coming into today. Obviously, Hatton struck out in his first debut. We will see what Maynard can do here as he takes ball 1. Gary, the on-base percentage of .538, due in large part to not only his excellent average, but the fact that he manages to get hit by a pitch just about every game, as he swings and misses at a pitch in the dirt there, 1-1. Lutz, a junior, he's allowed 3 runs on the year in 6 innings pitched, but it does not appear any of those are earned as Maynard takes strike 2. None of them were earned. In fact, he has an ERA of 0 despite 8 walks in 6 innings. So I imagine he is a master at working around trouble. The 1-2. Maynard swings and misses strike 3, and both pitchers enjoy 1-2-3 first innings. We're on to the second, 0-0. Kyle Kasabucky steps in to lead things off here for the Falcons in the top half of the second. 1-2-3 innings for both pitchers in the first. Not much going for either offense. As Kasabucky takes just high, I believe, for ball 1. Looked like an all right pitch, but Laudenschlager didn't get it. Kasabucky having a really nice year. He's batting .352 as he takes strike 1. .352 with 4 homers, 27 driven in. He has 10 doubles and 21 runs scored. In the cleanup spot for a reason. As he chops one down the third baseline, foul, 1-2. Laudenschlager, as I mentioned, a quick inning in the first. He induced 2 ground balls and then struck out the 3-hole hitter to get himself out of the inning. And he deals a 1-2 here. Sky down the line and right. Vincent, the first baseman, after it, as well as the right fielder Hatton. No one is going to get to it. Lands near the fence, out of play. And the count remains 1-2. Laudenschlager, as I mentioned, a native of Cave Creek, Arizona. I imagine this is not his most ideal weather to pitch in, as it is a little cold here today in River Forest. The 1-2. Can't get him to chase. And it's 2-2. Laudenschlager shakes off the sign and now fires the 2-2, and it's in the dirt again, 3-2. The 3-2. Taken for strike 3. That was right there. I don't know what he was waiting for besides that. Very unhappy with the call. And he's taking a very slow walk back to the dugout. And that brings up Tristan Largent the Falcon first baseman, who comes in hitting .438 through just 32 at-bats, however. He has 10 runs scored, and he has hit a homer. And he takes strike one. Tips that one into the glove as a volley 0-2. Laudenschlager quick to get set, ready to go. Here the 0-2 just outside. We saw Laudenschlager go to a full count on the previous batter. Walks have not been that much of an issue for him this season. He's walked just 11 and 24 1/3 innings pitched. As that ball is roped to the shortstop Uba, who does a good job staying in front of it, and he goes to first, throws over to the first baseman Vincent, and there's 2 away.
Now batting number 27, Jared Chesak.
Walks have not been an issue for Laudenschlager, but he has hit 7 batters. So his whip is 1.85, but he has issued 7 free passes via hit by pitch. As he hopes to limit those today, as he is quickly retired the first 2 batters again and fires strike one here. To Jared Chesak. Chesak, a .380 hitter on the year. Fouls that off for strike 2. 4 doubles, 14 RBIs, 14 walks. I believe leads this Falcons team, so a patient hitter. And with that has worked himself a .529 on base percentage, which would be the second highest on the team behind Sam Beers, who is batting .495. And he ropes one up the middle. No one's going to get there. A well-placed ball for the first hit of the afternoon. The Falcons have a man aboard with 2 out here in the second.
Now batting number 28, Blake Goswine.
Blake Goswine to bat here. He'll be the first one to bat all day with a runner on base. The Falcons' 7-hole hitter comes in batting .386. A lot of nice averages on this team. He's done that through 70 at-bats. He, too, has a homer. This Falcons team has 17 home runs on the year. He takes strike one. 17 home runs for the Falcons to just 13 given up. So they are capable of winning the power battle, but we know that the Cougars are as well. That ball is skied to right. Hatton took a step in. He's now running back. That ball is drifting foul and out of play. It'll be 0-2. Based on the flag and how that ball, the path that ball took in the sky, the wind is definitely blowing out to right. Hatton might have some work cut out for him today out there, as that ball did not look like it was going to go that far out of play when it left the bat. Laudenschlager checks the runner at first, again comes set, and again the 0-2. And it's again fouled and out of play, this time back behind home plate. We still have yet to have a foul ball hit the top of our press box this year. I'm waiting for the moment, and I'm sure it will be loud. Laudenschlager again, the 0-2. Swung on and missed the ball in the dirt. And just some unfortunate circumstances there, as ordinarily, if there were not 2 outs, he would not be able to advance to first with the runner on base.
Now batting number 22, Drew Johnson.
It was a filthy pitch. He got him chasing in the dirt on a pitch that wasn't close. So much so that Zavoli was not able to get his glove down on the ball, and it went back to the screen. And now a runner in scoring position with 2 away for the Falcons. That brings in Drew Johnson, the senior. He hits one down to third. Anderson is going to take it himself at the bag and end of the inning. Falcons have a mini threat but don't score. We're middle 2, 0-0. Welcome back here to the Thunderdome, bottom half of the second here. Brody Mariotti leads things off for the Cougars, who went 1-2-3 in the top half of the inning. Mariotti, 2 home runs on Sunday against Dominican in the day's first game, and he's first pitch swinging here, putting one out to short. A nice scoop at first as that throw. I think the shortstop had a little more time than he thought to make that throw, but either way, a nice scoop by Largent over there at first.
Number 6, Matt Uba.
And it's 1 pitch, 1 out for the Cougars as Matt Uba steps to the plate. Uba on Sunday in the second game was responsible for one of the Cougars' 3 solo home runs, and it was perhaps the most impressive of the 3, taking it out to dead center over that high fence, and it was a no-doubter. He'll try to replicate that here as the Cougars look to get on the board here in the second inning. He swings and fouls that one off, 1-1. Uba hitting .326 on the year. He has that home run in addition to another one he hit at IIT a few weeks back. 7 doubles, 21 ribbies, and he takes strike 2 on the corner. We'll see him get defensive here, a good contact hitter with 2 strikes, and he takes upstairs 2-2. The first lefty-lefty matchup we've seen today. Lutz the southpaw. Caleb Anderson, also in the Cougars lineup, will bat left-handed. And Uba gets hit. And the Cougars get a free pass at first after Lutz had him 0-2. Or 1-2, rather.
Number 32, Bryce Vincent.
And that brings in Bryce Vincent, who today I believe is making his first start at first base of the year. Brody Mariotti getting a day of half rest at the designated hitter position. Uba stays at short, and Christian Jacob remains at second. Vincent takes upstairs for a ball. And we did talk about that as a problem of Lutz's. He came in with 8 walks and 6 innings pitched, so he got through the first clean, but he hits the first batter of the second inning and is now 2-0 on Vincent. I do not believe that the CUW website tracks batters hit by pitchers, so there's no way to know how many players he's hit this year. as Vincent fouls that one off. A big hack on 2-0, and it's 2-1 now. Vincent this year hitting .302, though it is not a qualified average, which must be met by 2 plate appearances per game and 75% of games played, but a .302 average nonetheless for the Cougar first baseman, and an OPS of .716. The pitch. Uba takes off, and he has second due to the free pass issued to Vincent, and all of a sudden it's 2 on, nobody out for the Cougars.
Now to the plate number 25, Caleb Anderson.
And this ties back to what I mentioned in the first inning. Lutz has 6 appearances this year and 6 innings pitched, so if I were to guess, he has never gone more than an inning in any of his outings, and today they're handing him the ball to start. And already here in the second, the first 2 batters have reached without even allowing a hit. Or I should say he does have 1 out. Brody Mariotti did ground out to lead off the inning. But since then, not much going in the way of strikes here for Lutz. This catcher comes out to give some signals to him in the infield here. Neither of the runners being held on, another shortstop creeps behind Uba. I assume something to do with what the catcher came out to talk to to signal to the infield. And Anderson takes for a strike 1-1. Anderson hitting .349 on the year with an OPS of .850. And he hit the ball hard several times on Sunday and walked away without a whole lot to show for it. Some good defensive plays made on him on some hard hit balls. He does have a homer, as well as a triple and a double. And one in the gap here will at least give the Cougars a 1-0 lead, perhaps more. He chops one foul off the plate. And now it's 2-2 with Christian Jacob waiting on deck. And there's already activity in the CUW bullpen, leading to the theory that this could be a bullpen day for the Falcons. We see that a lot with these midweek non-conference games. Teams get ready for a 4-game conference series over the weekend, and they don't want to burn too much of their starting pitching. Anderson hits one up the middle. This is a tailor-made double play. No, but it's not. An errant throw to first, and there's still life for the Cougars in the inning.
Now to play number 2, Christian Jacob.
Anderson reaches on an error, and the inning stays alive for Christian Jacob, who on Sunday hit his first collegiate home run. And the Cougars don't need that here, but they would certainly like a hit to get a lead for Cade Laudenschlager when he goes back out onto the mound. Jacob, a 182 average on the year, 321 on base. As I just mentioned, he does have the home run that came on Sunday. Maybe he's found some power in that bat as he deals with a 1-1 count now. This is the 13th start for Jacob on the year. He's appeared now in 16 games. And the 1-1. Taken inside, 2-1. Alex Keinert waits on deck. Keinert, who also hit his first home run on Sunday. It was a day of firsts at Concordia. But right now it's Jacob against Lutz here in this big situation. As I thought he got a piece of it, but he did not, as Anderson takes second on the pass ball. The count is 2-2, but a base hit would now bring 2 runs home for Concordia. And it's a little dribble down the first base line. The first baseman will dive head first. A dangerous play with Jacob running across the bag, but he does get him at first, and that retires a side. We head to the third. 0-0.
To Sam Zarling.
Sam Zarling to lead things off here in the third inning for the Falcons. This is 0-0 game, as both pitchers worked around mini jams in the second innings after 1, 2, 3 firsts for each of them. And Laudenschlager back to work right here, and that ball is roped down the left field line. That's going to be at least 2. As Maynard chases it down in the left, he gets it in to Christian Jacob in the infield, and it's a leadoff double for the Falcon 9-hole hitter that brings up the top of the lineup.
Now batting number 9, Johannes Hawkinson.
Johannes Hawkinson is in now to bat with an RBI chance, or at least a chance to get the runner to third with less than 2 outs. Hawkinson hitting .397 on the year with 16 RBIs. He would love his 17th here. Laudenschlager would like any sort of out that doesn't advance the runner. He fouls that off for strike 1. As I mentioned, not the warmest day in River Forest today. Luckily, so far, the rain has held off. Knock on wood. Laudenschlager fires. Taken low, a ball and a strike. Hawkinson with nine total extra base hits. 5 doubles, 3 triples, and a home run. So some speed here on the Falcon leadoff guy. He swings and misses through that one, though, and it's 1-2. And we'll see what Laudenschlager does here on 1-2. It looks like he might be going outside with it. We've seen the outside corner called the strike a few times, and he does, and the defensive swing there by Hawkinson, who gets a piece of it and fouls it off to the right. Again, the 1-2. In the dirt, a good block by Zavoli. 2-2 the count now. Sam Beers waits on deck, and as mentioned, he is the most dangerous hitter in this Falcons lineup. An absurd .495 batting average, 5 home runs and 33 RBIs. So you'd really like to get Hawkinson here if you're Laudenschlager, and he just gets a piece of that one and fouls it off. It remains 2-2. Laudenschlager sets, throws the 0-2, and this is lifted into center field. This is going to get down for a base hit, and that's going to bring home the first run of the afternoon as they get the ball back in and force Hawkinson to stay at first. But trouble are brewing here in the second with one run already in and the heart of the order coming up. And that, of course, brings up Beers. Laudenschlager was able to get a ground ball from him in his first inning at bat. Now he bats with a runner on and nobody out. Laudenschlager would love another ground ball to short here and have his defense try to get two for him. And he throws over to first. Back safely is Hawkinson. And he fires the first offering to Beers, who fouls it off out of play. My job would be a lot easier if everyone's name was as easy as Sam Beers. Laudenschlager's job would be a lot easier if everyone wasn't as good if Sam Beers wasn't as good a hitter as he was, but he fouls it off again there. It's 0-2. And a chance here for Laudenschlager to get a very big strikeout. Beers has struck out 9 times. That, in 93 at-bats, though, is ultimately not a very high clip. And that ball is soared out to right. Coming in is Hatton, going out is Jacob Hatton, calls him off and makes the catch. And there's one away.
Now batting number 8, Sean Tillman.
A big out gotten by Laudenschlager there. So that brings up Sean Tillman, who is still a threat, batting .323 on the year. He has 1 home run, 7 doubles, a pair of triples. And he has only struck out 10 times. So much like Beers, you can usually expect contact here from Tillman. And look for Laudenschlager again to try to get a ground ball to get himself out of this inning. Checks a runner at first. And comes home with it, and that ball is roped to right. Hatton coming in, makes a sliding catch, and they're going to double him off at first. Yes, they are. Oh, well. A balk was called. So, none of that matters, apparently. And I don't think we get the official pitch on that then either. So the count is still 0-0, I believe, as Hawkinson on second, and that is a break of breaks for the Falcons because that should have been costly base running that ran them out of an inning here, and Howie Hatton is robbed of what was a beautiful play in right field. And Laudenschlager tries again here and misses outside, ball 1. I'm not sure when the balk was called. The runner may have known it all along, and that is why he didn't appear to even stop and consider going back to first on a ball hit in the air. But I don't think the defense knew it. Laudenschlager fires the 1-0, just down. Maybe a bit outside, but it looked like it had the corner of the plate to me. It's 2-0. The 2-0 offering is skied foul and out of play, 2-1. And Laudenschlager hasn't paid much attention to Hawkinson since he got to second base. No one holding him on currently, though Jacob and Uba both shifted up the middle. Uba moves behind him a little bit, but then back to normal depth at shortstop. And Tillman fouls that one off, and we have a 2-2 count. One to nothing Falcons here in the third. They've scored that run this inning. And they do have activity in their bullpen, so the Cougar bats are going to get to see a lot of different pitchers today, it does appear. As Laudenschlager gets a ground ball here to Jacob, who fields it cleanly and fires over to first, 2 away as the runner advances to third.
Now batting number 15, Kyle Kasabucky.
And that brings back Kasabucky. The cleanup hitter does present another big threat in the CUW lineup, where there are not many weaknesses, not a lot of holes in this Falcons lineup. They have a lot of hitters, and Kasabucky is one of them. 352 with 4 home runs and 27 RBIs on the power numbers. He takes strike one. And that hit him. That hit him, and there are 2 on with 2 out here for Largent. Tristan Largent comes up to the plate.
Now batting number 23, Tristan Largent.
And hit by pitch is not tracked for batters on the Concordia, Wisconsin website either, so I don't know if him being hit is a frequent occurrence. But that one didn't look too comfortable. He talked to his first base coach for a couple minutes, and now he's ready to go, and so is Laudenschlager, who deals now with Tristan Largent, who comes into the day hitting .438 through 32 at-bats. So a fairly small sample size for the junior, but definitely something to keep an eye on. If you are Laudenschlager. Wind's starting to pick up quite a bit here at the Thunderdome. As that ball is chopped to first, Vincent will take it unassisted and retire the side. We're halfway through the third. Falcons 1, Cougars coming to bat. New pitcher on the mound here for the Falcons as we begin the home half of the third inning. It is Joshua Dudek to face Alex Keinert. So they get 2 innings out of Lutz. I assume they're happy with 2 innings out of 2 shutout innings from a guy who I do not believe had gone more than an inning in any outing this year. He gets them 2 shutout innings. And the bullpen is already active, so we are going to see a lot of Falcon pitchers today. He deals first here with the 9-hole hitter Keinert, and he's now ahead 0-2. He gets the call on the outside corner there, middle up on Keinert, who didn't love the call, but now has to be protective here with 2 strikes, and he takes outside 1-2, 6 innings of work for Dudek so far this year in 4 appearances. 9 hits, 8 runs, 6 of them are earned. He's walked 2 and struck out 2, so those aren't incredibly high numbers. The ERA of 9 in a very, very small sample size. As I mentioned, he's only thrown 6 innings on the year. And they do not track WHIP on their website either. So, probably not going to calculate that one mentally, but like I said, 9 hits and 2 walks and 6 innings of work. So a whip just under 2, if that adds up. It's Keinert now, 0-2, and he skies one to left center field. The center fielder is over there, makes the grab, 1 away.
Back to the plate, number 12, Howie Hatton.
Howie Hatton now, as the Cougars flip the lineup back over, and they get a chance to go a second time through. With the way that the Falcons are managing their pitching early on in this game, though, I don't think any of these Cougar batters are going to get 2 cracks at the same pitcher. They got Dudek out there to face Keinert and now the top, so they're not going to get a second look at Lutz. I imagine they won't get a second look at Dudek, and so on and so forth. So it's going to be about the team finding the guy who they're seeing the ball best out of his hand and trying to make a big inning happen somewhere. Down just 1-0 so far. Falcons scoring in the top half of this inning. The Cougars would love to get one back here. Houghton swings and misses. It's 1-1. It might not be 1-1 because there was a little bit of a delay on the first pitch, but I believe it is. Hatton leaves that one down, lays off of it, and 2-1. He tipped it, I apologize, 1-2. Could not hold back on a pitch that was a little low. The wind really picking up here now at the Thunderdome as Hatton takes strike 3 called. Had a little bit of break on it, but it had the plate, and that brings up Zavoli here with 2 outs.
Now to the plate, number 1, Michael Zavoli.
And batting left-handed over the weekend, Zavoli put one on top of the batting cages in right field. That ball's hit to left, though. Incoming left fielder makes the grab, and it's a quick 1-2-3 inning. Down go the Cougars, and we head to the 4th. 1-0 Falcons. Jared Chasak to lead off the inning here for the Falcons. Laudenschlager back to work here in the fourth. As that pitch looked like a strike, but the home plate umpire disagrees. His view is a little better than mine, but I feel like that ball had the plate. And that might have been a semi-makeup call. That looked a little bit off the plate, but Laudenschlager gets the call. We have mentioned the outside strike seems to be there today, as it has been in a lot of these games recently. So Laudenschlager now deals with a 2-1 count on Chasak. He fires strike two, and 2-2 here without any swings in the at-bat. We'll see what Laudenschlager goes to here for a potential put-away pitch. He gets him swinging at a pitch low and out of the zone. Not the first time we've seen that today, and there's one away here in the fourth.
Batting number 28, Blake Goswine.
Blake Goswine steps to the plate. He himself was a strikeout victim in his first at-bat. Laudenschlager will try to repeat that here as he fires low for a ball. Laudenschlager 4 strikeouts so far today, and 3 1/3. As that ball is ripped down the line, Anderson has it, fires to first, 2 away.
Now batting number 22, Drew Johnson.
That ball could not have been hit more directly at Caleb Anderson, who had Chesak played perfectly. To now bring up Drew Johnson. The senior takes ball 1 low. Oh for 1 on the day is Johnson. He takes a strike to even the count. He grounded out a couple innings ago. I believe it was a fielder's choice. And it was the last out of the inning, and 2 runners were stranded, and that ball is skied foul. Out of play out near the throwing range for track and field. And now Laudenschlager, a strike away from escaping the fourth here without any damage whatsoever. Can't get him to chase there on the pitch, low and away. Good block by Zavoli again. It's now 3-2. And the payoff pitch is taken inside for ball 4. And that brings up Zarling, who doubled in his first at-bat.
Now batting number 32, Sam Zarling.
And scored the only run of the game so far. As the top of the order waits on deck, Laudenschlager, I imagine, will take a different approach here than he did the first time around when Zarling doubled. He misses low with a ball, 1-0. Cade's longest outing this year is 6 innings. Though he has thrown the second most innings on the team, as I mentioned, behind Cole Carmen. This is his 3rd start. We saw him out of the bullpen on Sunday, and he gets a grounder foul over near the Concordia, Wisconsin dugout. 1-1 the count. Laudenschlager's longest outing came on March 29th in a Monday start against Edgewood as he hits the 9-hole hitter Zarling.
Now batting number 9, Johannes Hawkinson.
And we've mentioned Laudenschlager. Now that is his 9th hit batter on the season with 2 today. And that ties Weston Stutzman for the most on the team. So walk's not usually an issue for Laudenschlager, but he has hit a couple guys today now. And he faces Hawkinson here at the top of the order with 2 runners on base and 2 out. And he fires a strike to get ahead in the count. Laudenschlager comes set. The 0-1 pitch is chopped foul off the plate. And he's put himself in a good position here. Has Laudenschlager 0-2 with a chance to get out of the inning. And strand a couple more Falcons on base. You get the feeling that it's only a matter of time until the Cougar bats explode for a big inning. And Laudenschlager would like to give him the chance to do so, down just 1-0. Lace to center. Keinert is there with a diving catch to end the inning. A great read by Keinert off the bat. He tracks it down for a sliding grab to strand 2 more Falcons on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 CUW. Welcome back here to the Thunderdome, bottom half of inning number 4. It is Joshua Dudek back on to work for the Falcons and Gary Maynard to lead things off for the Cougars. It's 1-0 CUW. Not much going in the way of hits for CUC, but there's a leadoff single up the middle from Gary Maynard, who, as I mentioned in the first inning, has the highest batting average on the team among qualified hitters.
Now to plate number 8, Brody Mariotti.
And he gets things started quickly here in inning number 4 for Brody Mariotti, who grounded out, also swinging at a first pitch in his first at-bat to shortstop. Dudek fires his first offering. Rope to short off the bat of Mariotti. A nice jumping grab, and that's going to be a double play. A tough spot for Gary Maynard right there, as that ball was hit very hard at the shortstop. He was taking off on contact, and the throw does beat him back to first. And with 2 pitches now, there are 2 down in the home half of the 4th. And the umpire is now discussing. He is going to be out. He looked out from up here, but I really don't have the best angle on a play at first base. A very nice play by the shortstop Tillman to make the jumping grab and then have the presence of mind to fire an accurate throw to first base. And we're going to get another pitching change here already. So they brought Dudek out. He got 2 outs and 2 pitches. And we'll take a break and be back with you here shortly. pitching change is Ben Spears, the freshman, comes in to pitch for CUW. An interesting decision. They sent Dudak back out for the inning. And granted, they were two fairly hard-hit balls, but with 2 outs, or with 2 pitches rather, he got 2 outs. So I don't know what more they wanted to see than that, but they like Spears here against Matt Uba. He falls behind 2-0. In a game where I think they're going to use a lot of pitchers, I assumed that they would want the potential 1-2-3 inning. As Uba smokes one down the line and left, the left fielder is going to be there to make the catch, however. That ends the inning for the Cougars. We're on to the 5th. 1-0 Falcons. Sam Beers to lead things off here for the Falcons in the 5th inning. He has been quiet so far today, 0 for 2, but it is still nice for Laudenschlager to face the Falcons' biggest threat with empty bases, and he grounds one here to Anderson, who comes up firing to first a bit high, and that will go as a reached on an error for Beers.
Now batting number 8, Sean Tillman.
Anderson had a lot of time. Granted, he's used to a little bit of a bigger target over at first in Brody Mariotti. I don't know how much taller he is than Bryce, but I assume he has at least a couple inches on him. And it's Tillman, who shows bunt, pulls back, takes a strike. I lied. Brody and Bryce are both 6'2", so. Just a little high on the throw from Anderson. And the 1-1 offering is swung on and missed for strike 2. As Laudenschlager works into the 5th inning. For the 3rd time this year, his other 2 starts, he went 5 innings against North Central last week, a week ago, actually, to the day. And then on the 29th of March against Edgewood, he went 6 innings. Relatively low pitch count, though. He's at 57. And the 2-2 offering. In the dirt, 3-2. Tillman 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout. Laudenschlager will hope to either replicate that or potentially get a ground ball. The 3-2 is chopped foul down the third base line near the Concordia, Wisconsin dugout. No one able to make the play. No activity in the Cougar bullpen. All quiet in the Falcons as well. The payoff pitch. Taken low, ball 4. The first 2 men are on in the inning here for the Falcons.
Now batting number 15, Kyle Kasabucky.
And that brings up Kasabucky, who was hit by a pitch and struck out. Laudenschlager looking to work out of trouble here. 2 men on, nobody out. The first pitch is taken for a strike by Kasabucky. I think some snow flurries are starting to fall here at the Thunderdome. Our camera person, Kate, is less than happy with this development. And that's strike 2 taken now by Kasabucky. As I mentioned, Laudenschlager is from Arizona, so I don't know how many times in his life he's pitched in the snow. As that ball is hit up the middle, could be 2. Uba takes it to second himself. He'll throw to first. A good stretch from Vincent. And a big double play for the Cougars here in the 5th inning. A very nice play by Uba to take it himself. And a beautiful stretch from Vincent at first base. The runner gets to third, but 2 away here now for the Falcons. As that ball is ripped, a diving stop by Vincent. It's caught. And that ends the inning. That ball was roped, and Bryce Vincent, making his season debut at first base, flashes a little bit of leather. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Cougars still trail 1-0. Bryce Vincent here to lead things off for the Cougars in the home half of the 5th. And as they say in baseball, sometimes you find that the guy who makes the big play in the field finds a way to lead off the next inning, and Vincent had 2 there, the stretch on the double play, and then the diving stop at first, certainly saving a run, and he goes fishing for that pitch, 0-1. 2 very nice plays by Vincent to get the Cougars out of that inning. As I mentioned, that diving stop saved a run for sure. And he chases again there, 0-2. Maybe still a little fired up from the play he made in the field. He's very eager at the plate right now. Spears steps off the rubber for a second. Back on now. and his 0-2 offering. That hung over the plate, and that is ripped to left by Vincent. That's a base hit. Whatever Spears wanted to do there, that was not what he did.
Now to the plate number 25, the third baseman, Caleb Anderson.
It looked like his catcher, Kasabaki, wanted him to go with the low and away pitch again that they had just gotten Vincent to chase twice. Instead, that looked like a breaking pitch that never broke. And Vincent rips it to left to get on to lead off the inning. And here steps in Caleb Anderson. 0 for 1 on the afternoon. I would imagine he's happy to not see a left-hander on the mound this time around. A little bit more of a favorable matchup here with the right-hander Spears. Vincent takes off. He's going to be out at second base. A nice throw from the catcher Kasabaki, as Vincent had a really nice jump, and they were going to need a perfect throw to get him, and they got it. As Anderson takes outside, the count now 1-1. We talked about it a lot on Sunday's broadcast, especially in contrast to Dominican. The Cougars are very aggressive base runners. Sometimes it pays off. In that situation, Bryce had a great jump and a good amount of speed, and it took the perfect throw to get him. Some unfortunate luck, but when you're down 1, you're trying to get that tying run into scoring position any way you can. As Anderson fouls one off down the left field line and out of play, it's now 2-2. Just 2 hits for the Cougars today. 3 for the Falcons. 2 errors committed by the Cougars, 1 by the Falcons. That's taken low for a ball. It's now full. Christian Jacob waits on deck. And it's Kynard after him. The payoff pitch to Anderson. Chopped to short. Thrown to first, and that is 2 away here in the home half of the 5th.
Now to plate number 2, Christian Jacob.
Jacob now a chance to start a 2-out rally. He's 0 for 1 on the day. As he takes ball 1 outside. That the 10th pitch for Spears, who I do not believe we will see to start next inning, and that's a strike on the swing from Jacob. Activity again in the CUW bullpen. Swing and a miss from Jacob, as the 2 full innings that we saw from the starter Lutz might be the longest we see any pitcher go today for CUW. That's a ball low and away. As even if Spears gets through this inning, that will just be an inning and a third for him. But early indications are that he will not be back out to work the 6th. The pitch to Jacob is taken low and away, and the count runs full, with again Alex Kynert waiting on deck. The payoff pitch is sent on to center field. Center fielder gives chase back. He's near the warning track. He makes the catch. Not the best read on that ball, but he got back there nonetheless. A long out for Christian Jacob, and we're on to the 6th. 1-0 Falcons. Chesak here to lead things off in the top half of the sixth. He swings and misses at the first offering from Laudenschlager, who was out to work the sixth inning here. If he gets through this inning, it will tie his longest outing of the year. As that ball is sent into center field, Keinert moves to his right and makes the catch. Quickly one away here in the sixth. Can of corn, as they say.
Now batting number 28, Blake Goswine.
As Hawk Harrelson would say. And that brings in Goswine, who was 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout. He takes ball one. Takes just outside. 2-0. And with a hitter's count, he drives one into the gap in right center. A very nice job by Keinert to get in front of it. He is going to have to hit the brakes between first and second. They nearly had a play on the relay, as I believe Goswine thought he had 2 out of the box. It was a very good play by Keinert to get to that ball and get in front of it and quickly get the ball back in. Definitely saved extra bases. A good hustle play from Keinert there. Keeps Goswine at first with one away now for Drew Johnson. Johnson today is 0 for 1 with the walk, and he takes strike one from Laudenschlager. Still, as far as I can see, no activity in the Cougars bullpen. I mentioned there is activity in the Falcons bullpen. I think we will see a new pitcher to begin next inning, if everything else they've done today is any indication. Ball one taken, rather, and a quick throw down to first from Zavoli. Not a bad idea at all. The 1-1. Driven to center. That is very deep. Keinert is back just in front of the warning track, makes the catch. I think on a less windy day, that ball may have stood a chance to get out of here, but with the wind blowing to right field the way it is, any ball hit towards center or left is going to be at a disadvantage. And a loud out number 2 that brings up Zarling, the 9-hole hitter, who has presented problems today. He's 1 for 1 and got hit by a pitch as well, so he's been on base both times. A nice job of flipping the order back to the top. He takes strike one on the outside corner. Cade Payton his spot perfectly there. And I think he's going to go right back there with Zavoli again setting up outside. We'll see if he can hit that spot again. Just a bit low that time, but the idea was there. It's 1-1 now on Zarling. Cade would like to face the top of the order in the 7th with a clean slate. As the runner takes off, the throw from Zavoli is just late. It was a really nice play by Christian Jacob to get the tag where it needed to be. I thought they might have had him. It looked the whole way like he was going to be safe, and that may have played some role in the umpire's call. A stolen base for Goswine nonetheless. And the Falcons have a runner in scoring position here with 2 strikes on Zarling. The pitch. Taken upstairs, 2-2. Laudenschlager looks in. He comes set and gets ready to fire the 2-2. The pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. A big strikeout from Laudenschlager. He's tied his longest outing of the year. We are going to the bottom of the 6th. 1-0 Falcons. Sorry for the delay on the broadcast, folks. I do not have this new pitcher, number 45, Michael Mockamer, on my roster on my stats computer, nor is he listed. This is his college debut, according to his teammates. So Keinert got hit to lead off the inning. Hatton just fouled that one off a mile behind us. .45.
What's his name? Do you know?
And now we have a mound visit here. Coach wants to talk it over with his freshman from Lake Zurich. Mockamer making his collegiate debut, as I mentioned, which is why he was not on my roster, though he is now, and we are ready to go. Thank you. Thanks, guys. All right, here we are now. Out of that break, Hatton lost one to third. That will be caught, and the throwback across the diamond is not going to be in time to get Keinert. Luckily, the contact was soft enough that it allowed Keinert to have time to get back to the bag.
Now to play number 1, Michael Zavoli.
Hatton is down here, retired for the first out of the inning, and now it's Zavoli's turn to try and provide a spark for the Cougars. Zavoli's 0 for 2 with a strikeout on the day. And Mockamer checks the runner at first. Keinert, who is back safely. As I tried to mention earlier during one of his at-bats, Zavoli, who shows bunt and drops a good one. Pitcher's going to have to make a nice play here. He's not going to have any play at all. That'll be an infield hit, a bunt single for Michael Zavoli. And the Cougars have 2 aboard with just 1 down in the inning.
Gary Maynard.
We discussed the strategy here of the Falcons, who were using almost a different pitcher every inning, every 2 innings thereabouts. And it seemed like we were just going to have to wait for the one who the Cougars were going to be able to capitalize off of. We are not going to have a chance to find out if Mockamer is the one, as we are getting another pitching change here. The Falcons wanting to avoid trouble before it starts, but not an ideal situation to inherit here for their new reliever. We'll be back in a second. It's Gary Maynard to bat here for the Cougars. He faces Lucas Getzlaff, the junior from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, inherits a not ideal situation here. As Maynard shoots one into right field, that's going to be down for a hit. It's a go sign for Keinert. The throw is cut off. You save at the plate. Zavoli to third on the throw. And we have a tie ball game thanks to Gary Maynard.
Now up to the plate, number 8, Brody Mariotti.
A big spot here for the Cougars cleanup hitter Brody Mariotti, as the Cougars just pulled even at 1 apiece here in the 6th, and a chance to do a lot more damage as Mariotti bats with 2 runners on. He swings and misses there, though. In on his hands a little bit. Strike 1. Getting a little darker here in River Forest, but the sun at the same time trying to poke out a little bit. But right now, all eyes on Brody Mariotti and whether he can untie this score. He takes inside, nearly hit him, quick to get out of the way. Eager to swing with a couple of guys on base is Brody. And a big spot here. Maynard's taken off. No one's going to be at second base. He's safe. That's a balk. Maynard gets second regardless, and Zavoli scores. And not the most exciting way to push ahead the go-ahead run here, but the Cougars will certainly take it. As Maynard now in scoring position, and Mariotti still a chance to do some damage. If he wants an RBI now, it's going to take a hit. A sac fly isn't going to get it done. And he ropes one down to third. Staying in front of it is a third baseman. The throw to first is wide. I believe he got the tag on Brody. We are going to have a discussion. I think he got him, and he did. Brody doesn't look like he agrees, but he's not going to make a scene or anything about it.
Now to the plate,
And there are 2 away here in the inning.
Uba.
An eventful 5-3 that goes down as we had the bobble at third, the throwaway, and the tag put on nonetheless. Uba takes low for ball 1. Uba here, a good man up to have in the situation. Good man to have up in the situation. A contact hitter who uses all fields, and I wouldn't be surprised again to see him do what he did Sunday, and that's poke it through the left side of the infield. As CUW has not done their proper scouting on Matt Uba, leaving him the entire left side of the infield like that. I don't know if I would have the shortstop holding on Maynard the way he is as he moves back a little bit more towards normal depth. And that ball gets away. Maynard has third easily on the wild pitch. And now another one of those, and the Cougars will have another run. Three 3-0 now on Uba. And he takes a strike, 3-1. Likely taking all the way there. He didn't look tempted by that pitch that looked to have a good amount of the middle of the plate. The 3-1 is smoked down the right field line. This ball is hooking foul, but oh my goodness, that ball was hit a very long way. He got about all of that he could. He was just a little ahead of it. That would have been a bomb. And I can't imagine he sees that same pitch here. Does a good job fouling that away, though. On the outside pitch, the count remains 3-2. And once again, the payoff pitch. And once again, fouled away off the screen behind home plate. A battle here from Matt Uba, who has now fouled off the last 3 pitches. And a nice job by Getzlaff getting back into this count after falling behind 3-0. Uba again stays alive. Defensive swing, pokes that foul. Heads up over on the soccer field. That is way out to midfield. Concordia women's soccer team getting ready for a NAC South semifinal match today with Benedictine. And that will interrupt their warm-ups. Again, the payoff. This is ball 4. An excellent at-bat from Matt Uba, who keeps the inning alive for Bryce Vincent. The Cougars have the lead, but would not turn down an insurance run or multiple. As pointed out again by our camera person, Kate, it is starting to snow again. And there is still no activity in the Cougars bullpen. So Cade Laudenschlager may get another chance to pitch in the snow. Not ideal baseball weather, not ideal soccer weather, not ideal softball weather as the Concordia softball team is in the midst of a doubleheader. Playing through it nonetheless, however. As a big spot here for Vincent, chance to add some insurance. He chops one to third, going to be a tough play, and the third baseman's not able to field it cleanly. That'll go as a reach down an error for Vincent, but the run is home, and it's 3-1 Cougars.
Now to the plate, the third baseman. Number 25, Caleb Anderson.
An unfortunate break for the Falcons there, though that was going to be a tough play to make the entire way, and that's another one of those where it's ruled an error now, but we really don't know how that's going to go down in the record books until the coaches have a chance to review the full game stats. As Anderson takes low, 2-0. And now with the hitter's count on Anderson, the Cougars are threatening a big 2-out rally here. Already 3 across in the inning. Uba stands at second, Vincent at first. And it's Anderson at the plate, and he takes a crack at the 2-0 and floats it down the left field line right near, just beyond the CUW bullpen and out of play. It's 2-1. Anderson today still in search of his first hit. He is grounded out. And reached on an error. The 2-1 pitch. Taken low, 3-1. A hitter's count here for Caleb Anderson, who will look for something to drive. And with Vincent running on contact from first, anything that finds a gap here will likely bring home 2 Cougars. And he takes ball 4. They're loaded for Christian Jacob.
Now to the plate, number 2, Christian Jacob.
And we're going to get another Falcons pitching change as they are comfortable exhausting all their arms here, it appears. We'll step away and we'll be right back. It's Bo Wills on to pitch for the Falcons. They have used several pitchers today. I want to get the exact number so that I don't lie to you guys. He is the 7th in the 6th inning here. And a big spot for Christian Jacob, who takes a crack at one on the first pitch and drives it down the left field line. This is going to hook just foul. Maybe not just foul. It was foul by quite a bit, but off the bat, that looked like it had a chance to be trouble. And he was just a little ahead of it. Oh, there was a balk called. And so the Cougars will add an insurance run on a balk. We hadn't seen many balks at all this year at the Thunderdome, but a few today, and 2 of them have brought home Cougar runs in this inning. So some unhappy folks in that CUW dugout, but I don't know what else to tell them other than come set. Two runs across the plate for the Cougars via balk this inning, 4 in total. And now still 2 runners in scoring position as Jacob takes low. The ump has a 1-1 count. It is at least 2-1. The first foul ball of the at-bat was negated. So it's 2-1. Jacob takes there. It should be 3-1, but what we have up here and on the scoreboard doesn't really mean anything because we're not going to override the home plate umpire, who I believe might still have a 2-1 count. And that's ball 4, and it is. No objection there. And they're loaded again for Alex Keinert.
Down to the plate, number 7, Alex Keinert.
Keinert today is 0 for 1, but he's been hit by a pitch. And if he gets hit again here, it'll be the 3rd Cougar run of the inning scored without having to get a hit to bring the runner home. He takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Four runs in on the inning, 2 on box. That one's taken inside, 1-1. The sun is finally starting to creep out a little bit more here at the Thunderdome. We hope the snow is behind us. I'm sure Kate is hoping the same. And a chance to do some more damage here. Keinert, a nice play by the catcher there, who I assume was setting up inside, considering he had to go all the way across his body to dive and stop that pitch. Did Kasabucky. And it's Keinert now ahead in the count, 2-1. The pitch is inside, 3-1. So again, a hitter's count here for Keinert. He'll look for something to lay into and maybe open this game up a little bit. The pitch. Keinert sends one in the air to center field, giving Chase's Hawkinson some confusion, but it is a center fielder, Hawkinson, at the end, who pulls it in to retire the side. The Cougars leave them loaded, but not before they score 4 runs. We're on to the 7th, 4-1 CUC. Think on your feet. All right. Johannes Hawkinson in, top of the order for the Falcons here in the 7th inning. Playing from behind for the first time today, the Cougars hung their 4th spot in the bottom half of the 6th. Cade Laudenschlager is out for what is now his longest outing of the year if he records an out. He's out to pitch the 7th. And again, pitching with a lead for the first time today. He gets ahead quickly. And then misses upstairs for a ball, 1-2. And that ball is ripped down to third. A great catch by Caleb Anderson, who had a nice first step, got the glove up, and made the play. And it is officially Laudenschlager's longest outing of the year.
Now batting number 17, Sam Beers.
And it's Sam Beers now, who's 0 for 3 today. He reached on an error, but Laudenschlager has done a good job of neutralizing Beers, who came in batting .495. The first pitch here is behind him, 1-0. And CUW needs base runners. Beers cannot get these all back by himself right here. But he hopes to be a rally starter as Laudenschlager throws one by him, 1-1. The 1-1 is fouled away, 1-2. Laudenschlager just over 75 pitches. I'm not entirely sure what the most pitches he's thrown in an outing is this year, but I do know that his current 6 1/3 is the longest he's gone innings-wise, and that ball is driven deep to center field. Keinert is over, calls off Hatton, and makes the play in right center. 2 away.
Now batting number 8, Sean Tillman.
It's Sean Tillman now, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a walk. He's had a few nice defensive plays at short. Not much in the way of hitting, though, as Laudenschlager looks for a 1-2-3 7th here. The first pitch is fouled away, strike 1. And Laudenschlager is still pumping heat late into this game. It does look like there are arms waiting to get loose in the Cougar bullpen, though. As that ball shot up the middle, off of Uba at short, and into the outfield. Tillman will reach here with 2 outs. It was a very hard-hit ball. Uba did a good job of getting his body in front of it, just unable to make the play.
Now batting number 15, Kyle Kasabucky.
And that brings in Kasabucky. Another dangerous bat in the CUW lineup that has, for the most part, been kept in check today. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He did get hit by a pitch, and he takes ball 1. As I can hear them getting ready to start the playoff soccer game over at the stadium behind me. Ball 2 thrown by Laudenschlager. It can't be the best situation to pitch in when you're hearing the PA and national anthem over at the other stadium, but such is the way of things in the spring semester at Concordia that features just about every sport we have all in action at one time. Laudenschlager breaks that one in there to make it a 2-1 count. As the national anthem blares in the background, we will see if the American spirit can guide Laudenschlager out of this inning. He fires. Ground ball. That's going to be... a nice play by Christian Jacob to get there, but he throws it away at first. Really not sure he was going to have him either way. That's going to be ruled a hit. It was an incredible effort by Jacob to even get to that ball. I thought for sure that was through. And by getting there, He was effective in keeping Tillman at second base. I believe this is the pitching coach out to talk to Laudenschlager, so I don't expect to see the hook here. But some arms getting loosened in the bullpen, like I mentioned. I can't see them from where I'm sitting, but I would bet someone is starting to throw in case this inning goes any further. Jacob not charged an error on that. I've made the executive decision. As again, I believe the effort to even get to that ball, keep the runner at second base, and even having a prayer of getting that guy at first was pretty remarkable.
Now batting number 23, Tristan Largent.
And it's Largent here representing the tying run. 2 on and 2 out in the inning. Laudenschlager again working on his longest outing of the year. He has been impressive today, just the 1 run early on in the third. And he misses outside there 1-0. If you're wondering about the chances of Largent tying this game, he does have a home run this year. 11 RBIs, 2 doubles, and a triple. So he has some power in that bat. That is through just 32 at-bats. And he rips one to center field. Incoming Kinnert not going to get there. It falls short. 1 run is in. Kasabucky held at second. It's an RBI single, and it's a 4-2 ball game.
Now batting number 27, Jared Chesak.
An unearned run as Tillman had reached on the error at shortstop by Matt Uba. And now all of a sudden the go-ahead run at the plate. And that ball gets away from Zavoli. Both runners advance, and the tying run is now in scoring position. It'll be scored a wild pitch, as that ball had some of the dirt. Not a whole lot Zavoli could do with it. But Laudenschlager is in need of a big pitch or two here to try to get an out, because I assume any hit here is tying this game. And that is a strike, 1-1. If you're just joining us, Concordia, Wisconsin led for much of the game. They scored 1 in the third. The Cougars tallied back in the bottom half of last inning with 4, and 1 in so far for Concordia, Wisconsin in the 7th. But now Laudenschlager a strike away from getting out of the inning and leaving the tying run in scoring position. Runners on second and third for the Falcons, 2 away. The 1-2 pitch upcoming. Skied to center. Should be an easy one for Kinnert, who battles the sun, makes the catch. Laudenschlager's hyped up. He's worked out of another jam. We're through 7, going to the bottom half of the 7th here in River Forest. It is 4-2 Cougars. Andrew Jaworowski in to work the 8th inning, or the 7th inning, rather, for the Falcons. The 8th pitcher, I believe we've seen them use here to open up the 7th, and he deals with the top of the Cougar order in Howie Hatton. Jaworowski, a sophomore, he throws strike 1. On the year, if his stats will load after this pitch, Hatton chops one to short. Another nice play out at short by Tillman, who barely gets him at first. No arguments or appeals from the Cougar dugout.
Now to bat number 1, Michael Zavoli.
But Hatton was booking it down the line, trying to get himself on base to open up this inning. Jaworowski on the year, he's pitched 6 innings. Zavoli skies one. Second baseman is under it. Will make the grab. And 2 are away rather quickly here in the home half of the 7th. Jaworowski,
Number 17, Gary Maynard.
4 appearances on the year. This is 5th. He brings in an 0-1 record. He's worked 6 innings, allowed 6 hits in those innings, 4 runs, 2 of them earned, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. So it's a 3.0 ERA as Maynard takes ball 1. And he takes strike 1. 2 quick outs so far here in the 7th from Jaworowski. And I do think we are going to get a reliever from the Cougars in the 8th. It looks like Laudenschlager's day is going to be done. A fantastic outing from the senior. 7 innings and just 2 runs, 1 of them unearned. A very nice performance. And Gary Maynard does what he does probably better than anyone in the country at any level, and that is reach base via hit by pitch.
Now to plate number 8, Brody Mariotti.
That brings up Mariotti here with 2 outs. See if the Cougars can make Jaworowski pay for issuing the free pass while 2 were down. The right man at the plate here for some quick insurance if you're the Cougars. And Maynard with an aggressive stance at first base. Jaworowski stops off the mound. In between innings, heading to the 7th, we had a player ejected from the Concordia, Wisconsin dugout as Mariotti smokes one left field. That's going to get down. The left fielder took the wrong route to the ball, but it was hit so hard and carried off the wall to him that it will not get Maynard home. It is 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs as we get the belly rub from Mariotti on second base.
Now to plate number 6, Matt Uva.
So as I mentioned, a player ejected from the CUW dugout for chirping the umpire about the balk calls that led to 2 Cougar runs in the bottom half of the 6th. So the ump had heard enough. I think we all heard enough. And I imagine he headed to the bus, a bus that can't be very warm right now, unless they've left it running all day. Uba takes strike 1. Or maybe he will pull the Bobby Valentine and come back to the dugout in a disguise. He'd probably stand a lot better chance at getting away with it. Uba swings and misses strike 2, as I don't know how occupied the ump is going to be with it, but whatever he said, it was enough to get tossed. I've yet to see a player be thrown out of the game from the dugout, so he had to have said something that the ump wasn't too fond of. And here's Uba on the 0-2, swings and misses. First strike 3, that ends the inning. That ends the scoring threat. We're on to the 8th, 4-2 Cougars. Blake Goswine in to lead things off here in the 8th for the Falcons. Vincent Saratori on the mound for the Cougars here, the freshman, who gets strike one. The scouting report on Saratori is he throws strikes. This is his home debut, I believe. 3 prior appearances this year for the freshman from Lockport Township High School. In the suburbs, there's a ball away. He threw 2/3 of an inning at DePaul on March 14th, the season opener. Struck out 1. Pitched 2 innings at North Park in what was a blowout loss for CUC. He allowed just 3 hits over 2 innings as he gets another swing and miss there. 1 walk. And then pitched an inning against Illinois Tech with a couple of walks, 1 earned, 1 hit, and 1 strikeout. Very small sample size for the freshman, who stands at 6'5". So a tall presence on the mound. And that's a liner down the right field line, foul. Playoff soccer is in action behind us. If you hear any crowd noise, it is likely from those soccer sidelines that are fairly close to the field. Saratori, those 1 and 2, just low, and it's 2 and 2. And he gets him the swing and miss at a pitch in the dirt. Zavoli is there. Throws down to Vincent. 1 away here in the 8th.
Now batting number 22, Drew Johnson.
Drew Johnson to the plate here for the Falcons. Not many notes on Saratori because this is only his 4th appearance. He's a pre-med major. He enjoys athletics, working out, school, and video games. Which begs the question, did he buy MLB The Show yesterday? I know me personally, I had it pre-ordered, and I was very happy with my experience on the game so far. Saratori fires the 1-0. It's a little dribbler back to him. He's going to have a chance to make a play, and he does. Underhands it to Vincent. There are 2 away. And that brings up Zarling, the 9-hole hitter here.
Now batting number 32, Sam Zarling.
Zarling today, 1 for 2 with a strikeout. He was hit by a pitch. His 1 hit was a double. All of that obviously came against Laudenschlager. And it's Saratori now. And yes, he did on the swing. That's strike 1. Unable to hold back was Zarling. The 0-1 hit to third. Routine play for Anderson, who fires across to Vincent. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Saratori. We are on to the bottom of the 8th. 4-2 Cougars. Bottom of the 8th here in River Forest. Bryce Vincent to lead things off for the Cougars. He takes ball 1. It is still Jaworowski on the mound for CUW. As that is flared into shallow center. Could be a tough play. The second baseman takes charge despite the shortstop, Tillman,
Number 25.
running full speed after it.
Anderson.
And 1 pitch, 1 out. Bringing Caleb Anderson to the plate. The first pitch to Anderson taken outside for a ball. Caleb, in search of his first hit today, he's been on base with a walk, and he reached on an error, so a couple of times on. No hits thus far, though, as he skies one to the left side of the infield. The third baseman, his counterpart, has it, and in 3 pitches, there are 2 away.
Now to play number 2, Christian Jacob.
That brings up Christian Jacob. He's walked today. He's reached on an error himself and is also in search of his first hit. He gets hit. So he's on again 3 times now without a hit, which brings up Alex Keinert.
To the plate, the center fielder, Alex Keinert.
And if you're CUC here, you have a 2-run lead with the top half of the Falcons' order to bat in the 9th. Ideally, you walk away here with a run or 2 to add some insurance with, again, the top of the CUW order waiting in the 9th. Keinert ropes one foul. Keinert, an old school approach, no batting gloves. Especially on a cold day like today, that can really don't want to take one off the lower part of the bat if he gets worked inside at all. Couple of checks over at first. Not a bad idea. I would say the scouting report on the Cougars is that if they have a guy on first with 2 outs, they are trying to take second. And fires over again. Jacob leaning a little towards second, but able to get back. Now 3 straight pickoff attempts. He's got the 9-hole hitter at the plate. And Jacob does, in fact, take off. And he is out at second base. We head to the 9th. Cougars holding on to a 2-run lead. Cole Carmen in to pitch the ninth inning here for CUC. He faces the top of the order. Now, a unique role for Cole Carmen here, normally a starter, normally the ace of this rotation. He's not gone less than 6 innings in an outing all year. Today, all Coach Colin Connor wants is 3 outs, and that is a leadoff hit for Hawkinson. And
Now batting number 17, Sam Beers.
that again brings up Sam Beers, who today is 0 for 4, and when you're batting .495 and you're 0 for 1, you're due. When you're batting .495 and you're 0 for 4, you are overdue. Probably part of the reason why Carmen is in this game. He throws to first, and that ball gets away. And he's going to standing on at least third base as Jacob is down there to get it. And we have a runner on third, nobody out. Strike one fired. And that ball is shot up the middle and through. That's a base hit and not the start to the inning the Cougars were envisioning. The tying run is aboard.
Now batting number 8, Sean.
And that brings up Sean Tillman. 0 for 3 on the day with a walk and a strikeout. And you would think that Cole Carmen just needs to center himself out on the mound right now and get his composure. This is a unique situation for him to be thrown into. Again, normally a starter through a complete game shutout against Dominican on Saturday. Today he is asked to come in the ninth inning and retire the top part of the CUW lineup that has been kept in check so far today. But much like the Cougars, you're only going to do that for so long. And that ball is taken low. 1-1. And the CUW dugout is full of life right now with their team trailing by 1 in the ninth inning. And the pitch fouled off 1-2. And a big pitch coming here from Carmen. And I think we might have a little bit of a sun shower going on out there right now. Just some little drizzles, but the skies are as clear as they've been all day. That's ball 2. And the 2-2 offering from Carmen on its way is swung on and missed. Strike 3. 1 out away here in the ninth inning.
Now batting number 15, Kyle Kasabucky.
But that brings in another dangerous hitter, Kyle Kasabucky. Unlike most of the big hitters in this Concordia, Wisconsin lineup today, he does have a hit. He is 1 for 3. He was also hit by a pitch and has struck out, excuse me. The first pitch is taken just low for a ball. That's a spot that I feel like I've seen a lot of first strike calls on today, so I'm a little surprised Carmen didn't get it. Kasabucky calls for time. Carmen steps up the rubber, and now they both get set and ready for the 1-0 pitch. Carmen fires strike 1. This is the only meeting of the season between these two teams. They were originally scheduled to play a doubleheader yesterday. The weather made it such that it had to be pushed back to today, and they played just one inning, and Kasabucky drives one to deep left. And the Falcons take the lead here in the ninth. An unfortunate turn of events here from the Cougars, who went to their starter in the ninth inning. And the big bats of Concordia, Wisconsin, that had been kept in check for the majority of the day, have seemed to like what they've seen from Cole Carmen. As there's a chopper foul off the bat of Largent. The Cougars in the ninth will have 9-1-2, which is scheduled to be Keinert, Hatton, and Zavoli. Keinert was batting at the end of last inning when Christian Jacob was caught stealing, attempting to get into scoring position with a couple of outs. And now Carmen fires the 0-1. That's on the outside corner, 0-2. And if you're the Cougars, you feel good about who you have coming up. Not an ideal situation to be playing the bottom half of this ninth, but a chance for someone to be a hero nonetheless. Carmen delivers the 0-2, swung on and missed, strike three. He quickly sends down Largent to follow up the home run.
Now batting number 27, Jared Chesak.
That brings up Chesak, the sixth hitter in this Concordia, Wisconsin lineup. Taken upstairs for a ball, 1-0. We'll see if the Cougars have any walk-off magic left in them. They've been involved in quite a few close games this year. That's fouled off 1-1. The power bats will be waiting in the ninth if the first few hitters are to find a way on base. The 1-2 or the 1-1 is right there for strike two. And Carmen's a pitch away from getting out of this inning, but not before the damage was done. The 1-2. Chopped, fouled on the third baseline. There have been some defensive changes seen or made by the Cougars. Elijah Hickman is in center. Gary Maynard at third. We'll get those fully to you when they come up to bat in the bottom half of the inning. The 1-2 offering from Carmen. Fouled off again. It looks like Alex Keinert is in left. I assume that is still Hatton out in right. Elijah Hickman in center, and Gary Maynard has moved to third base. The pitch from Carmen is swung on and hit to center field. That's going to be caught by Christian Jacob running backwards. A nice grab from the Cougars second baseman to end the inning. The Falcons take the lead, though, and we head to the bottom of the ninth. Cougars trailing 5-4. Jaworowski on here again to work the ninth. Keinert fouls off the first pitch, 0-1. If you're just joining us, Concordia, Wisconsin went up 1-0 in the third. The Cougars put up a 4 spot in the sixth to take a 2-1 lead. They went to the ninth with a 4-2 lead, but some power from the catcher Casa Bucky going deep, putting the Falcons ahead, but now Alex Keinert is hit by a pitch to lead off the ninth. The tying run quickly aboard for the Cougars as the top of the order rolls around. It's Howie Hatton. And we talked in the top half when it was Sam Beers who came to the plate. As we get a pinch runner, it'll be Niles Gall, I assume.
Run for Keinert is Niles Gall.
No reaction from the dugout as Gall was announced to the stadium, so I will assume it is him running. He is the typical pinch runner for CUC. We talked in the top half of the ninth about how Sam Beers was due at 0 for 4, and he came up and roped an RBI base hit. Howie Hatton is also 0 for 4, and I would consider him also due. We will see what happens here as he represents the winning run. He takes low and away, ball one. Gall at first has a lot of speed. One of the fastest players on this Cougars roster. And he is checked on. Hatton today, as I mentioned, 0 for 4. A strikeout, 2 groundouts, and a flyout. He takes ball 2. Jaworowski worried about Gall over there at first. He understands that Gall represents the tying run. These Cougars like to steal bases, and they'd like to get him in a scoring position here. As Hatton takes inside, it's 3-0. Jaworowski in danger of putting the winning run on base. All via a free pass. Keinert was hit to lead off the inning. Hatton bats now. Hatton rolls one to short. That's not going. There's going to be no play. As Tillman made a nice play to get over there, but ultimately the ball was too much in the hole for any play to be made. And Zavoli is up now with the winning run on first base, tying run on second, and still nobody out. That was Hatton's first hit of the afternoon. Now Zavoli steps in. Zavoli is 0 for 4. He has a strikeout, 2 groundouts, and a flyout, the same as Hatton had. Zavoli shows bunt and takes a ball. I thought Zavoli had a bunt single at some point. I could be thinking of someone else's. He doesn't have any hits according to these stats, so that's because it was still Hatton's stats. So they were the exact same for that reason. I was right. Zavoli does have a bunt single. He is 1 for 4 with a strikeout and 2 flyouts. He showed bunt again there. The third baseman is in, as is the first baseman. And he lays one down foul. With where the third baseman is playing, they might have a tough time, even on a bunt to the pitcher or catcher, at getting Niles Gall at third base. So an interesting play here. As Zavoli bats, 1-1 the count. He shows bunt again. He pulls back. That's ball 2. And that was not even close to the zone. Both dugouts cheering on their players. Zavoli takes outside. It's 3-1. And now all of a sudden he is looking for that one pitch right in his wheelhouse to turn on. He's got 3 home runs this year. We know the power is there. He put one on the batting cages on Saturday from this side of the plate, and he walks. And just like that, the tying run is at third, winning run at second, and I think we're about to get our 100th pitching change of the day from CUW. And we are. We'll step away. Cougars threatening. Bases loaded. Nobody out. Trailing by 1 in the 9th. We'll be back. It's Tyler Moynihan, into pitch for the Falcons. He inherits a jam. The bases are full of Cougars. The runner at third represents the tying run. The runner at second, the winning run. The runner at first is for good measure. Gary Maynard steps to the plate. This is Moynihan's 5th appearance this year. He's thrown 3 1/3 innings. Gary's swinging at the first pitch, and he's popping this one up. Could potentially get out of play, and it will. just off of the net down the first baseline by the Cougars dugout. Catcher and first baseman thought they were going to have a play off the bat. I really did too. As Gary was not waiting to see a pitch from Moylan, and he was ready to attack. And we'll see if he can straighten that out here and bring home the tying and potentially winning runs. Maynard takes strike 2. That broke into the zone. And I think Maynard is thinking that he would have loved to have a crack at that if he could have that pitch back, because that pitch wanted to be hit. The 0-2 offering coming up to Maynard. Maynard skies one to center. This is trouble. Center fielder makes the catch, but he was sliding, so they're going to get the tag. He's safe at the plate. Maynard ties the game. Niles Gall, the pinch runner, pays off. I'm not sure there are many other guys on this team who would have scored on that. The center fielder was very shallow, but the fact that he had to go into a dive to make the catch allowed Gall the time to score before Hawkinson was up and firing. A big RBI for Gary Maynard. And they're appealing to third. He's safe. You can never be too careful with that. We have seen some ridiculous appeals this year that have been won. I will be honest, though, in those situations, I don't know if either of those umps, while that is happening, are actually watching the runner on third base. Mariotti, a chance to be a walk-off hero for the second time this season. The winning run's right out there at second base. The last time he did it via a home run. It does not have to be quite as dramatic this time, as a base hit should suffice with Howie Hatton running at second. Maynard swings and misses, strike 1. As extra innings loom, potentially Mariotti would like to end it here. That is for certain. Brody cracks one foul and out of play, and it's 0-2. Matthew Uba waits on deck for the Cougars if Mariotti does not end the game here. He's behind 0-2, but so was Gary Maynard. The pitch. Taken low and away, ball 1. Again, it doesn't have to be a monster hit here, just a hit could, in theory, end the game. Mariotti gets hit, and the bases are loaded. And now any sort of things can score the winning run. He can score on a pass ball or a wild pitch, or the Cougars could score their third run today via balk. We could have a balk off. Who knows? It's up to Matt Uba to decide. As he takes ball 1 outside. As softball has made its way onto the field, and oh my goodness, if that was hit off of I assume they're warming up in between games, because if that was hit off of a bat, I saw one get out on the baseball field on Saturday. It's not out of the question, but that one would have been a tank. That is ball 2 to Uba. And Uba ahead here 2-0, and he is not going to be too eager, I don't think. As a walk-off walk is just as good as a walk-off anything. But maybe he's thinking about putting one on the softball field. He smokes one down the third base line. This is in the left field. This is going to roll all the way down to the wall, and the Cougars are going to win. Haddon touches the plate. Matt Uba's your hero today. He walks it off and gets mobbed by his team out between first and second. The Cougars take this one from the Falcons in the Battle of Concordias. It was a thriller that came all the way down to the ninth inning. Matt Uba's your hero. Cougars win. Cougars win. Back in action on Saturday against Aurora. We'll be back with you then. All smiles for Concordia today. Final score, Cougars 6, Falcons 5. Thanks for joining us.